In today's video, you're going to learn how to play one of your very first chords on the guitar, the C chord, as you can see on screen. Now, before we dive in, step by step, cover the fingers we need to use, cover tips on if you're getting dead strings, I do want to get a free gift into your hands if you head over to acousticmadesimple.com. I would love to get a guide into your hands that's going to teach you actually your first 4 chords that you need to know to be able to play songs right away. There's going to be a couple easy versions of 2 of those chords, as well as a diagram you can reference for your string names, a diagram you can reference for how to number your fingers. And so I'm actually going to show you this. I want to pop this on screen. It's going to look like this. Let me pop this on screen for you here. And so this is what it looks like, a simple guide to playing your first 4 chords. I'll just briefly go through this here. You can see there's the finger numbers, your key on how to read chord diagrams, the open string names, and then here's your 4 chords. G, there's an easy version of G, C, which we're going to cover today in this video, an easy version of C as well. There's D, and then there's E minor. And if you learn those 4 chords, you will be well on your way to playing lots and lots of songs, your favorite songs. That can cover a lot of ground, just learning those 4 chords. So without further ado, let's cover how to play the C shape here, which you see on your screen. Now, I'm going to have this close-up view here. We're going to go through finger by finger. This is the sound we're going for. That's your C chord. Now, if you don't know how to read chord diagrams, the easiest way to think about this is it's like let me turn this off for a second. It's as if you're turning your guitar like this, you know, and you're using that as a diagram there, and it would be like that if you're matching that shape. So obviously you can't play your guitar like that. I wouldn't recommend that. So the easiest way to think about it is as if you're looking down on the strings, and now the numbers in the black circles are going to tell you what finger to use. So we number our fingers. This is finger 1, finger 2, the ring finger is finger 3, and the pinky is finger 4. Once again, that's in your free guide, so make sure you get that. There's a link in the description below as well. And the black dots tell you which frets to place your fingers on. Now, the frets are actually these metal bars right here. But when we talk about fretting the notes, the frets are the spaces. So this is fret 1, everything in this space. This is fret 2, everything in this space. This is fret 3, and so on up the neck. Now, there's one thing you will notice on that diagram. You see an X on the string, the line that represents the thickest string, the 6th string here. You see an X there. And the reason for that is we don't want to play this top string here. So you won't be playing that top string. We're going to play all the strings starting from this A string, the 5th string, down. We're going to play all those strings there. So with that, let me get the close-up back here, and let's start all the way at the bottom. You'll notice there's a circle on the first line there, which represents the thinnest string, the 1st string, the E string. So that circle there means that's an open string. So this string here is open. Now, the next note up, the B string here, the next string up, the B string, you'll notice that there's a black dot in the 1st fret space, and then it has a number 1 in the black dot, or in that circle. That means we're using this finger here, our index finger, our pointer finger. We're placing it right behind the fret, so right behind the metal fret there. We want to place it right behind. That's going to prevent any dead notes, or if you go too far back, you're not going to get that buzzing like that. So you want to be right behind the fret. We're going to place that note there. Now you'll notice as you go one more string up, there's another circle there, which means open string. So this G string right here is open. Then the next note up is on the 2nd fret. That's why there's a black dot there in that 2nd fret space. You'll notice that it's on the G string, which is right here, this D string. And there's number 2 in that black dot, which means we use the number 2 finger, which is our middle finger. So far we've got those notes. And then you'll notice we go one more string up, 1 fret over with our ring finger, this finger right here, and we place that right there. So once again, as close as you can behind these metal frets here. And we're using that ring finger because there's a 3 in that black dot. And that is going to make your full sounding C chord. So you'll notice that is the shape there. Now you'll notice a couple things. Sometimes the temptation is to want to wrap your thumb around the guitar neck, kind of holding the guitar neck like a baseball bat. You want to try to avoid that. You'll notice when I move my thumb back and place it right in that, kind of behind that middle fret here in this space, so the 2nd fret, in the case of forming the C chord, When I do that, it forces, notice how it forces my wrist to move out like that. What that does, it does a couple things, is it forces a curve on your fingers, right? Because you don't want to be flat. If you grip like a baseball bat, the tendency that's going to happen is you're going to get flat fingers like that. And then you're going to get a lot of dead strings like that. If you get any at all, you're going to get a lot of dead strings. We don't want that sound. You want to move that thumb. See how I'm moving it back there? It forces the curve on the fingers, and that also helps us to be able to play with just our fingertips. That's where we want to be playing. And what's going to happen, you're going to eventually form calluses on your fingertips there. I don't know if you could see this. I'll hold mine. You can kind of see there's calluses on the end of my fingertips. That's what's going to eventually allow the guitar to not be so painful. So if it hurts right now, endure through that. It's okay. Keep going. You're eventually going to form those calluses, and it won't hurt as much to play, especially a steel string acoustic guitar. So just, fight through those things. But if you curve your wrists like that, I've talked about this in other videos. I often think about a ball being placed in the palm of this hand here. And if you think about having to keep that ball from falling out of your hand, that'll also help you to kind of visually just, force a curve on your hands here. It'll force you to use the fingertips. And then that's kind of the posture that we're looking for. Not flat like that, not gripping it like this, not really being uncomfortable with your shoulder here, but just having a nice curve and getting those notes all ringing out. Now, a little tip when you are learning these chords is you want to go one by one on the strings. Rather than just doing this, strumming down like that, you want to be able to go one by one down the strings. So, and what that does is it makes sure that you have all the notes ringing out. So if you have a problem string, it'll help identify which string that is. Let's say let's try to mimic this here. Let's say we've got something like this. Okay, you notice right there, like in this case, I'll go, oh, okay, that's the B string, the second string. I can take a look at what's going on. Maybe I'm not pushing down hard enough. Maybe I'm too far back like that. We're getting that kind of nasty sound. If you're right on top of the fret, you'll also get kind of a muted sound. So you want to be able to identify which your problem strings are, and then just go as slow as you need to go to get a nice full C chord with all the notes ringing out. So, friend, I hope that helps you today to learn your C chord. Definitely pick up your guide once again. I'll put this on the screen. Head over to acousticmadesimple.com. You'll be able to get your free guide, and I'd love to be able to continue helping you weekly on your journey of learning the acoustic guitar, this amazing instrument, and get you playing songs as quickly as possible. So head over to Acoustic Made Simple, grab your guide, and with that, I will see you in the next video. Take care.